So yesterday happened. Not a great start to the season for Caitlin Clark or the Indiana Fever. Uh, an internal war as well between Slurp Psycho FC and actual Caitlin Clark fans who understand what fandom is, and it doesn't mean just everything's perfect, everything's wonderful, whatever the team does, we love it, give us more. It was a disastrous game in terms of what Stephanie White brings to the table. More and more fans are very, very upset about that. I mean, we can see the tide shift in comments on my videos, on these videos, and everything all of you say, and how many more of you are very adamant about Stephanie White's got to go. The front office is terrible. I see it on my friends' videos, at Rhodes, at Black and White Sports, Ben Daniel podcast. More and more fans are just like, man, enough is enough. We can't take any more of this. Something has to change. And it's getting relentless. It's going to be wild to see if anything actually does have a real impact. Because like this, Amber Cox. By the way, where's Kelly Kroskoff? Right, I've said this since when? When was it in last year? I think it was when she ran off of Twitter, right? Uh, Almost never hear from her anymore. It's always Amber Cox, and she thought it'd be cool to put this out here. She doesn't care a thing about this, but a fantastic accomplishment for 22. Many more buckets to come because she got to 1,000 points. I believe she's tied to Mika Catchings, actually, in number of games, 54 games. But yeah, people are just they're not letting any of this go anymore, right? They're not letting any of this go. Like I posted on, you're taking advantage of her being a good person. In 5 years, the league attendance will be right back to what it was the first 27 years. Then they'll be gaslighting us about why the money dried up and calling the owners misogynists and all that for not giving them disgusting amounts of money to do something no one cares to watch. If Herb Simon gave two craps about the fever of this league, he'd clean house and hire serious basketball minds to evolve this team and this league into something tangible. He obviously doesn't, probably too busy building his snowbird bunker. Why won't the players set a solid screen for her? Always a soft or ghost screen, if any at all. CC has to fight for every shot out of the mud. Please sign some players capable of defending and rebounding so that you can capitalize on the generational talent you've inherited. Please bring in Chloe. White is still a bad head coach, at best a decent assistant. The guy who is the assistant HC is great, so let him be the head coach instead. While you allow those ex-Fever players to ruin your opening game at home is beyond comprehension. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Caitlin Clark fans are being relentless. They see what's going on. They see what they're doing to Caitlin Clark. And we're not even touching on the injury thing, which I thought about a lot more after the video I did last night. Quick timeout. I want to say, I meant to say at the beginning, because I think this is going Sunday, happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers out there. You do hard work. Well, sometimes. No, I'm kidding. You do hard work, especially those of you that have athletes. Because as a coach, I know what that's like, schlepping them to and from everything, and how far away games can be sometimes, and all that. So anyway, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Do me a quick favor, everyone, like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. She won't be in a Fever jersey much longer if you keep White. She's a horrible coach with no offensive vision. I'm not sure she has defensive vision at this point. The only problem with that is I feel like Caitlin's bought in a little bit, and that's the risk that you run. She is enveloped in this bubble of hatred and, I should say, fake appreciation and like for her. And from everything I've seen of her going back to Iowa, she just seems like inherently a nice person who his default setting is to think the best of everyone and not ever think, oh, someone's looking to use her for something or anything like that. That's not how she's built. And, I'm not sure that serves her, unfortunately, right now, being that good of a person, because I think she truly believes Stephanie White has her best interests at heart. All the evidence to the contrary, of course. Uh, Now you just need to find a power forward so we can clinch the championship. Make KK your starting PF. She's ready and playoff player too. She's ready and play. Okay, I'm not sure, but I know your point. With Cunningham as small forward in the starters as well. This will be your championship start at drop Hayes, find another player. So, yeah, I mean, the offseason, it already looks like it's kind of been a bit of a disaster. And I said, I don't know if I said this on I think I said this in the post game, but I mentioned KK. Yeah, that's like the one huge bright spot for me. I can see her being, if good decisions are made, I can see her being the starting power forward before too long. And Monique Billings coming off the bench, and I'm not sure MHA even plays, but then that leaves Dantas as like the only big. I mean, which is another thing. Thinking Dantas, and I like a lot of Dantas's games, but she's also got a lot of limitations at this point in her career. And thinking she could be an effective backup center is absurd. I mean, she was never truly the backup center. She filled in here or there, but she was always more of a stretch four. So yeah, a whole lot of problems going on. Why wouldn't she care? Every great player cares about stats and accomplishments. To a degree, that is true. Really? What the F that's supposed to mean? Aren't you supposed to be the GM of your organization? Caitlin, please protect yourself from Amber, Kelly, White, and the Indiana Fever organization and get the hell out of there. Of course she cares about this. Holy crap. This is her career, and she talks all the time about wanting to be the best. You all really don't know how to treat a generational superstar like on multiple fronts. And this goes on forever, man. This goes on forever. So, yeah, I think people are the tide has turned when it comes to the Indiana Fever and what Caitlin Clark fans expect and how long they're going to wait and their patience and all that. They've run out. They've seen what's going on. And we've got a lot of questions now about Caitlin's back, about this mechanics stuff that Stephanie White has talked about. The fact that Caitlin Clark has been perfectly fine in pretty much every way physically until Stephanie White was brought into this organization. And now it's normal that she has to go get treatment while healthy in the middle of the game multiple times. There's nothing normal about that. It has nothing to do with her needing to learn mechanics because she was moving improperly. Again, folks, I train athletes. I've coached athletes. I work on improving their athleticism, their speed, and their quickness and all this. And I'm telling you, the stuff Stephanie White is feeding us is absolute BS. Now, it could be because there's a real injury and they're covering it and she knows what she's feeding is BS. It could also be, who knows what they're actually doing? I don't know. Like, that part gets a little conspiracy theorist. I get it, but when I look at everything that's going on these past 2 seasons with the Indiana Fever, I gotta wonder, I question. Wow, yeah. So as you can see, now Slurp FC obviously still on this. I saw lots and lots of wonderful things, thanking the Indiana Fever for playing yesterday and how wonderful that was, and all that. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash the like button, subscribe. Go the day you deserve. Happy Mother's Day. I will talk to you all later.